Dash artery is the largest branch of ulnar artery. What they're asking is the largest branch. Largest is related to the bulk or the caliber of an artery. Don't confuse with the longest. Although sometimes longest can also be the largest. So here in this image you are seeing is brachial artery, and I taught you that medium sized artery, whenever they terminally divide into two branches, they are not of equal caliber. One which is a minor branch that continues superficially, and one which is a major branch which continues deep inside. So among radial and ulnar artery is the continuation of brachial artery, while radial artery is a minor branch of brachial artery, minor and superficial branch of brachial artery. Ulnar artery in the forearm gives various muscular and cutaneous and genicular and autonomic branches, but the largest branch from ulnar artery is common interosseous artery. Remember this point, it is the largest branch of ulnar artery, although it's a very small artery. Then this artery, you can see here, it descends downwards and laterally and reaching to the upper border of the interosseous membrane, where it splits into two branches, anterior interosseous artery and posterior interosseous artery. Again, the same funda will apply which I told you for the terminal branches arising from the medium sized artery. So among the two, posterior interosseous artery is a minor branch of common interosseous artery. Why? Because in the back of forearm you have less of bulk of muscles, one thing. Then it mainly supplies blood into the upper 2/3 of the back of forearm. And then talking about the anterior interosseous artery. Anterior interosseous artery is the major continuation, or you can simply write it as the continuation of common interosseous artery in forearm. The reasons are that anterior interosseous artery being of wider caliber, one thing is the bulk of the muscles in the front of forearm is much more compared to the bulk of muscles in the back of forearm. So more of requirement of perfusion here in the front of forearm. The another thing is it also provides nutritional branches to radius and ulna. So you've seen that there are two reasons. Then the third reason for it being the major branch from ulnar artery is that in the junction of the upper 2/3 and lower 1/3, this anterior interosseous artery, it dips down here. It dips down by perforating the interosseous membrane and reaches into the back of forearm, thereby reinforcing blood in the lower 1/3 of the back of forearm. As I told you that posterior interosseous artery was mainly supplying blood in the upper 2/3 of the back of forearm. So this artery reaches behind in the back of forearm and it passes below the fourth compartment of the extensor retinaculum. So it's an anterior interosseous artery, but it passes below to the extensor retinaculum. What about its continuation here in the lower 1/3 of the front of forearm? So the continuation of this anterior interosseous artery in the front of forearm in the lower 1/3 is sometimes called by some authors as median artery. And it participates in a cruciate anastomosis here. Consider this to be a deep palmar arch, and this deep palmar arch gives a recurrent branch which passes below the flexor retinaculum to reach into the forearm space of parona. Then from the two sides also, from the radial artery transverse branch and from the ulnar artery also a transverse branch reaches here to participate in this anastomosis, and these are called the palmar carpal branches from radial and ulnar artery. This one is recurrent branch from deep palmar arch. and this is palmar carpal branch of ulnar artery, and this is palmar carpal branch of radial artery. So what you're finding here is a cruciate anastomosis at the front of the wrist in the forearm space of parona. So the answer here will be common interosseous artery is the largest branch of ulnar artery.